They had everything. Fame, fortune, and faces the world adored. But it wasn't enough. One by one, Hollywood's brightest stars started changing their appearance. A comedy icon's face became so stretched it was hard to watch. A pop princess went under the knife 10 times in one day. The results were catastrophic. Some procedures went so wrong that careers never recovered. Others left stars looking like completely different people. The full story of how fame became a curse is more disturbing than you imagine. Meg Ryan. Ryan used to be known for her soft smile and sweet face. In the 1980s and 1990s, she starred in romantic comedies that made people fall in love with her. She had something special back then. It wasn't just her looks. It was the way she carried herself, the warmth in her eyes, and how real she felt on screen. She became America's sweetheart during those years, and many still remember her that way. But over time things changed. Roles started slipping away. Hollywood moved on and Ryan didn't get the same chances she once had. At some point she made a decision. She changed her appearance. It was more than just a little work. Her whole face began to look different. People started talking. One of the biggest changes was in her cheeks. They looked puffed up like they had been filled too much. When she smiled, the fullness pushed up toward her eyes, making them look smaller. It didn't look natural anymore. Some even said her face looked more masculine just because of how the cheek volume was placed. Her forehead looked frozen too. The skin didn't move much, and it seemed like there had been too many treatments to smooth out the wrinkles, but instead of helping, it made her brows drop slightly, which once again made her eyes look less open. It was hard to ignore how her whole face had shifted. People guessed there might have been several facelifts over the years because her face shape wasn't the same at all. Fans who grew up watching her missed the way she used to look. There was something innocent and kind about her in the 80s and 90s. That's the image people held on to. And now when they see her, there's a sense of loss. Not just for the face that changed, but for the feeling that came with it. That old spark, that effortless charm. Many feel it's gone. The conversation around her has been full of opinions. Some feel sad, others are angry at how the industry pressures women to stay young forever. But no matter what side people are on, one thing is clear. The girl from When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle will always be remembered. The face might have changed, but the memories haven't. Lara Flynn Bowl. Lara Flynn Bowl once had the kind of beauty that stopped people in their tracks. She wasn't just another actress. There was something about her presence, something timeless. When she played Donna Hayward in Twin Peaks back in 1990, people couldn't look away. She had this soft voice, sharp eyes, and a mysterious glow that made her unforgettable. Hollywood noticed her right away. More roles followed, and by 1997 she was a star on the Practice legal drama that made her a household name. That show ran until 2004. And during those years, Lara became one of the most talked about actresses on television. But after the spotlight began to fade, something else started to happen. Instead of seeing her in new films or shows, people began seeing her in tabloid photos. Not for her work, but for her face. Over time, her look began to change, slowly at first. Then, drastically, her once familiar face became harder and harder to recognize. People whispered that she'd had plastic surgery. First it was just talk, but then the changes became undeniable. Her cheeks looked fuller. Her lips had a swollen shape that didn't match the way she used to look. Her eyes, her brows, even the shape of her nose seemed different. It was as if the woman who once played Donna had vanished. What remained was someone else entirely. Someone trying to hold on to youth in a town that punishes women for aging. It wasn't just one procedure. People began to suspect she had rhinoplasty, lip Injections, dermal fillers, anti-wrinkle treatments, maybe even a brow lift or a full face lift. And the more that was done, the more her natural beauty slipped away. Her fans started to say she looked like a completely different person. Not older, not younger, just changed. Not in a good way. Her face looked tight and her skin didn't move the way it used to. There was something almost frozen about her smile. Online, people compared her to the classic real housewife look. That overly polished style that tries so hard to be perfect, it ends up feeling artificial. The saddest part is that none of it was necessary. Lara Flynn Bowl was beautiful, the way she was. If she had left things alone, she would have aged with grace. She didn't need the extra fillers. She didn't need the procedures that left her face swollen and stretched. But the pressure in Hollywood is cruel, especially for women who were once known for their looks. The spotlight can make people feel like they have to fight time. And in trying to stay young, Lara lost the very face people had once fallen in love with. Tara Reid. Tara Reid was once one of the most talked about young stars in Hollywood. After her role in American Pie, she became a household name. But before that, she had already started building her career with The Big Lebowski in 1998, which gave her an early boost in fame. By the early 2000s, it looked like Tara was on the path to becoming a long-term star. She had the look, the charm, and the momentum. But then everything started to fall apart. In 2007, during a red carpet event, something happened that would change how people saw her forever. A wardrobe malfunction exposed her chest to the cameras. The photos spread across the internet in minutes. People weren't just shocked, they were cruel. Strangers picked apart every detail of her body. Some even called her the woman with the ugliest breasts in the world. It was brutal. Later, Tara admitted that she had gone through breast augmentation because she was self-conscious. Her breasts were uneven and she simply wanted to fix them. But the surgery didn't go well. The results were far from what she expected. Instead of feeling better, she was left feeling worse. Her chest looked unnatural. And to make things even more difficult, the liposuction she had done on her stomach left ripples in her skin. Her body had been changed in ways she couldn't hide, and the camera caught everything. Tara tried to fix the damage. She went back under the knife to correct the earlier mistakes. This time, she chose a procedure called donut mastopexy. It was meant to help with the shape and lift of her breasts while also dealing with some of the earlier issues. But the truth is, no surgery could undo what had already been done.